Thank you, Rick.
Well, no fear, Mr. Chair. I don't think that there's any reason to be afraid. I do, however, find and am becoming increasingly, as although not a regular member of this committee, I am a member of the Ethics Committee. And what I've found so incredibly disappointing is that you have at every turn, every committee, the Liberal government propped up by the NDP, a willingness to do everything imaginable to cover up, to shirk responsibility, to hide behind procedure, behind whatever it takes to keep answers from being made public. You know, Mr. Chair, this goes far beyond politics. We have seen over the last number of years a profound erosion of trust that has taken place in our national institutions. A profound erosion of trust that has led to many Canadians to question not just how their tax dollars are being spent, that's an age-old political question, but truly question every aspect of whether or not government can be trusted. And one of the most disappointing things, Mr. Chair, and I think I speak on many Canadians, for many Canadians on this, is that although the Liberals talked big about transparency prior to their election and continue to peacock that they care deeply about it, when it comes to action, they fail every step of the way. And Chair, to ensure that I keep this brief, I won't go through the many examples that I could point out where that has been the case, and in many cases where they will truly talk out of both sides of their mouth. And I've seen members of this committee that have been truly that have misrepresented what is trying to be accomplished here. But Chair, if I could, just to ensure that members of this committee, as the book that governs us when it comes to the work that we do here is known as Bosch and Gagnon, and I'm reading specifically from House of Commons Procedure and Practice, 3rd edition, 2017. On page 137, it says, and I'll quote here for the benefit of all here in the committee, so that they would remember that they first serve their constituents by the power of what is the supremacy of Parliament in our system. That's important, Chair, because I think that we see that members specifically of the Liberal Party, but also those in the NDP, as my colleague Mr. Genuis had outlined, seem to be quick to serve their political masters as opposed to the purposes that we have to serve Canadians here. I will quote that on page 137, that the only limitations, which could only be self-imposed, would be that any inquiry should relate to a subject within the legislative competence of Parliament, particularly where witnesses and documents are required and the penal jurisdiction of Parliament is contemplated. This dovetails with the right of each House of Parliament to summon and compel the attendance of all persons within the limit of their jurisdictions. Chair, it goes on to say, interestingly, how the only individuals that committees are not able to compel the attendance to committee, and this extends to the production of documents, is the Sovereign, the Governor-General, Lieutenant Governors, members, senators, and offices of other legislatures or persons outside of Canada. Chair, we have the ability to get answers, and this committee needs to act on it, and the Liberals and the NDP need to serve Canadians, not their own personal political interests.
Let me interrupt you. We have bells ringing for a vote. I will ask the usual if we can seek consent to continue until closer to, and then we can leave closer to the vote. "30-minute bells."
Yeah, like maybe 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? Okay. Something else to spend.
6.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Baines is looking for 6. We'll go for 6.
So Chair, thank you for that, and I'm glad to have the confidence of this committee to finish my thought before handing it over to the very capable Mr. Perkins to continue. I would, however, when it comes to the substance of this amendment, it ensures that it has teeth, that it doesn't simply skirt over the substance of what Canadians deserve answers to in regards to a massive, absolutely massive government expenditure. We're talking thousands of dollars for every Canadian family. So, Chair, I will ask to be put back on the list. However, I would simply say that we saw before with the NDP flipping and voting against the common sense, very practical motion that we had brought forward. I suspect that that pressure that the Liberals applied then, I would hope they reconsider and serve Canadians, not their political masters within the Liberal Party.